Namaste. More or less, we all know the importance of rest and sleep. It contributes to our overall health. These days, when almost all of us are restricted to homes, our sleep patterns have changed in many ways. Some of us who were earlier occupied all day long are now sleeping during daytime as they don't have much to do throughout the day. Moreover, work from home formats and drastic increase in online activities have added to changed work and sleep routines. In fact, there are many other conditions and reasons also for poor sleep, such as aging, certain medical and disability conditions. But today I'll share few things in general about good sleep in terms of what to do and what not to do to maintain sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene describes good sleep habits and things that can give us the best chance of a good refreshing sleep. Most of these things are common but usually gets neglected. So let's understand the do's and don'ts to help us get good night's sleep. First, I'll talk about things that you should do to develop good sleep habits. To start with, stick to a fairly regular waking and sleeping time. Our body has a natural clock which makes us feel sleepy when we are ready for bed. Try not to ignore the signal. Getting up at the same time every day helps to keep our body clock synchronized with what is going on outside. However, an occasional night out or sleep in is not harmful. It is also important to spend at least some daytime outdoors in natural light. It produces melatonin, which is a sleep promoting substance. Moreover, sunlight is particularly helpful in synchronizing the body clock if exposed to early in the day. The next good sleep habit comes from the evidence that regular exercise improves restful sleep. Ideally, exercise should be done either before dinner or in the morning. One more thing that we can do is avoid using bed for activities like studying, watching television, making phone calls, having meals and similar other activities. We must remember that bed is associated with sleep. Our brain makes connection between places and activities and these needs to be reinforced. So we should use bed for sleep. In order to induce good sleep, we should make the bedroom as restful as possible on one hand and make ourselves comfortable and relaxed on the other. For this, we can do a number of things such as minimizing the noises and outside light, keeping the temperature cool or warm as per weather, removing distracting things like beeping watches and clocks from the bedroom, warm ourselves if we are cold, use comfortable mattresses, bed sheets and pillows. Apart from all these, a warm bath about an hour before bedtime may promote sleep as it causes the body's temperature to rise and then fall. We should also understand our sleep need. Most of us as adults need between 7 to 9 hours sleep every day. This also includes naps and time spent dozing in front of television. So it's good not to build up unrealistic expectations of our sleep needs. Now it is also important to know about those who take medicines for some reason. They should follow their experts' advice. Medication may cause to be sleepy or alert depending on the type of medicine and our body's response to it. So it is good not to vary the time of taking the medicine. It is always good to discuss the medicine's connection with sleep and fix a time to take the medicine as advised by the doctor. These were the main things that need to be done to develop good sleep habits. But there are a number of things which need to be avoided in order to get good sleep. So let's now understand the don'ts of sleep hygiene. Don't exercise just before going to bed. It stimulates the body and may make it difficult to fall asleep. So it's preferred to exercise in the morning or before dinner. Apart from exercise, do not engage in other stimulating activities as well just before bedtime, such as playing competitive games and mobile games, watching exciting programs or movie, having important family discussion, etc. All such activities stimulate our thoughts, which may overflow to bedroom and eventually result in poor sleep. However, it may be natural to worry about and plan next day's activities, but it should be avoided so far as possible. Another important thing is not to carry stressful thought to bed. Visualizing and thinking something soothing and pleasing instead helps to fall asleep. Taking a nap in the evening may reduce the body's need to fall asleep, so it's better not to do that. As we already know that our brain makes connection between sleep and bed. Changing one's bed and place of sleep frequently may cause poor sleep, so it should also be avoided. It is also important to understand that nicotine contributes to sleep loss. So quitting smoking is one good way to get restful sleep. Many people also think that alcohol helps to get sleep, but as it causes more trips to toilet, sleep gets disturbed. Moreover, this fragmented sleep also worsens snoring and sleep apnea, which is basically breathing obstruction during sleep. Eating too much or too little at night may result in disturbed sleep. So it's good to first understand our body requirement and eat accordingly. Also, drinking too much before bedtime isn't advisable. Going to bed empty bladder is advisable instead. Similarly, caffeine containing drinks before bedtime may cause loss of sleep. Most of us consider tea and coffee as caffeine containing drinks, but drinks such as colas and many other soft drinks also contain caffeine. So it's good to read the product label to get more information about it. One important situation is when we are in bed but unable to sleep even till 20 to 30 minutes. In that case, staying in bed should be avoided. We should get up and do something boring in another room with fairly dim lights on and get back to bed on feeling sleepy. This helps our mind to associate sleep with bed. Looking at clock again and again should also be avoided as it becomes distracting and obsessing, which may make it even more difficult to sleep. Sharing one's bed with children and pets should also be avoided as sleep disturbance is common in such situations. However, this will depend more or less on the age of children and family situation. One last thing for today is about those who depend on sleeping pills. We should be aware that these are temporary fix only. Getting into the habit of pills and then stopping it may result in rebound, which means the withdrawal symptoms that occur on suddenly stopping or reducing the doses, and sleeping becomes harder. So it's always good to consult an expert if the situation is such. After knowing what to do and what not to do for sleep hygiene, it is important to know that one poor night's sleep is not a problem. One should return to good sleep habits the next night. Many sleep problems are due to poor habits built over time. So it's not possible to fix sleep problems in just one night. It is also understandable that following 100% of advices on sleep hygiene isn't possible for everyone. Still, trying as much as possible will definitely help. Have a good sleep and healthy life. Thank you. Namaste.